Angela got Drew coming over, and I noticed that they put a price tag on Drew's cosmopolitan clutch. It was like a $6,000 bag, and Angela was all ready to call out Drew for the lie that she told when they all met up at Shamia's house about how she is related to Michael Jordan because she knows that they were drinking his tequila. And Angela said, listen, I called Marcus and he said, you're not kin to him. Oh, girl, that was a joke. It didn't sound like a joke. I mean, I can tell that Drew was a bit nervous about landing her whole name. Like, my name is Drew Jordan. It didn't land like it was a joke, though, Drew. It landed like you wanted to be serious. But who even lies about being cousins with somebody? We did that in grade school. But I find it funny to imagine if you were related to somebody, especially when you have the same last name. You kind of think about it for a little bit. But I don't find it that deep. And it's something that it's not even going to be dragged out. So Angela and Drew were discussing Brillo past behavior, and they thought that she was going to show up with more vulnerability, be a bit more humble, but maybe there's hope for some growth later. And to me, they're not here for Britt appearing as if she's a victim, because Angela knows she's seen a different side of Britt, and it's like, I'm not about to just allow you to swindle me as if I'm stupid. And Drew even revealed that she got a text message from Britt so they can have a conversation to clear the air. And when Drew mocked her with the way she read her message was hilarious. But she's like, girl, the jury is still out on you. I'll have a conversation. I'm just going to let that marinate. And this is obviously another weekend that Drew has to leave her house so that Ralph can have quality time with the children. And she don't like this arrangement. I don't like this arrangement. It's dumb. But they have a second court date coming up, and majority of what she wants is for the divorce case to be sealed. She doesn't want anything to be revealed about what has taken place between her and Ralph. The result of them fighting so horribly towards one another, she don't want them to find out. And Angela said, you had told me that Ralph was jealous of you and Dennis. Like, what's up with that? So Drew said that Dennis had a conversation with Ralph early on about their business arrangement. And Drew had a conversation with Portia. Now they acting funny. Now they acting like it's so wrong. Now they have a problem with it. So Portia, you wanted to drag Drew to make it seem as if she hasn't told you about her working with Dennis. You weren't in the know about her working with Dennis. You want to make it seem as if she betrayed you and didn't appreciate her working for you and thought that she would just dump you for Dennis. Like, the way you kept presenting as if she is so wrong about all of this is crazy as hell. And I can see Ralph trying to gain some type of attention for him to not to be the villain in this situation. I ain't got time. But amidst of Angela and Drew having their own hangout, Kelly has the girls come over so they can have a conversation. And Cynthia was the first to arrive. And since she's twice divorced, she's looking to take a different step on her journey of finding another man. And maybe what's set for her is a younger man, a little young tenderoni. And she don't have a lot on her list of demands. She just wants a man who has good oral hygiene, financially secure, already have children, take care of your skin, don't smoke, and don't need to be a vegan. That's it. Portia walks inside her house, not ring the doorbell. And Shamia had on the same exact outfit that she had on her photo cover. The same fuzzy boots, booty shorts, some type of boosted gala top, and a blazer. Same thing. So we get the mystery as to why Kelly's dog is painted and bedazzled. So apparently somebody stole Kelly's dog. They found her on Craigslist. So she figured, I'm going to paint her so that way nobody will ever steal her again. It'll make her stand out more to be stolen if you think about it. But she also wanted to say that the dye and color that's on her dog Cha-Cha is chemical-free, cruelty-free. No dogs, no animals were harmed for the making of this dye. Did y'all notice that Kelly has a sob story every time something goes on in her life? First it's her husband, now it's the dog. And it's like, damn, Kelly, you've lived a very eventful life. Interesting. So Portia wanted to know what happened at the peach brunch because she didn't show up. They said it was a shit show. Kelly is spinning the conversation to say that Drew and Angela were already on Team Twirl. So, of course, that put Britt on the defense. Not really, Kelly. It's not that they were on Team Twirl. They're on Team Twirl now. But in that moment, they had heard Kenya's side because you mentioned that they spoke to Kenya and now they want to hear Britt's side. But Britt took offense to it because that's not what was supposed to happen. They weren't supposed to hear Kenya's side. All they were supposed to do is just be there for Britt. Be there for Brochure. It's all about Brochure. Nobody else can say nothing different about Brochure. Nobody can say nothing to get an understanding about Brochure. We're supposed to just woo, woo, woo Brochure. That's it. And it's ridiculous to want to just demand that people only be there for you and get mad if they don't be there for other people. Folks can have their own opinions and feelings in the matter. So after that, Cynthia asked if Portia and Drew are good. Portia said she's moved on, but she wasn't explaining if her and Drew had mended things. So Cynthia kept on going. So y'all are good now. Y'all cool. She said you're putting a lot of adjectives that are put in there that's just not really given. Like I'm not really sensing what it is you're trying to say because that's not it. So Portia is still not over it. And it's clear that Portia is dragging out this problem with Drew because she doesn't have a storyline. So she needs to create an issue and drag out this issue. But this issue is pretty much done. You're placing all this responsibility on Drew as if she's the reason why you guys are not in a good place. When she's tried to talk to you countless of times, you kept running away from it. And even Cynthia said, Portia can say she don't care, but she cares a lot. And it shows. You trying to say you're above it, you're over it. It don't look like it. So Portia is planning a getaway trip for her birthday, and she chose Nashville so they can get their cowboy Carter on. She invites all the girls except for Drew. And she also will be inviting her sister Lauren and all the rest of her friends. Manetta will be there. Ami, I think one of the ladies were, and some other people that I can't really remember. So Angela got the invite, and it was on a Zoom call. And Angela said, I'm missing my Chicago partner. Where's my friend? So she asked Portia on the Zoom, can she invite a +1? Portia danced around the question, did not say no, just said, oh my God, I think you're going out. Your phone is on silent. So Portia is playing on the fact that she knows that Drew will be coming on this trip. But to make it sound like Angela was ignoring Portia's wishes, which is not the case. And yeah, it's messy that Angela will be inviting Drew to Nashville, but hey, it's reality. It is what it is. So in that scene, we see that Angela is extending the invitation to Drew herself, and she feels like if me and Britt can squash things and be in the same room, I think the same could be for you and Portia. Drew is hesitant because she's like, listen, I think that it will be more forthcoming and real if it came for her. I think that it would be better if the invitation came for her. And then Drew said, I'm very easy to communicate with. At the same time, she said that Portia gonna come out and say Drew is a pathological liar. Well, isn't that the pot calling the kettle? You've been known to be a liar too, though. Like you giving way too much energy about Drew being a liar when you done the absolute most, ma'am. And I don't care about Britt, how she wants peace. So just little scenes here and there. Kelly was teaching her daughter how to drive. Angela is feeding her children, and she wanted to get her kids' opinions about her nose because Angela revealed she did get a nose job, but the doctor made her nose look too pinched. So she was advised to get some Botox to kind of fill in those spaces so her nose can widen up, and it made her face all puffed up. So I guess the swelling hasn't gone down yet. And I love the honesty that Angela is not shying away from admitting she's had work done. And if that's all the work she's had done and the rest is all natural, Angela look good. Okay. But when she asked her son how her face looked, he said, your nose looked like Yoshi from Mario. Oh my God, kids are so mean. They be so blunt. It's like, well, damn. But I think Angela's idea for what she wanted her nose to be wasn't what she thought it was. So maybe it got a bit better. And it was a small clip between Cynthia and Portia. I guess it's at Portia's house. So maybe she was able to film a small section of the house, not the whole thing. And Cynthia was just so surprised that Portia and Simon are going through this divorce, because while watching their love all over social media, she'd be so excited when she see be his piece. Hashtag that Portia be having, but it's like, no more. You're not his piece. You're like, let me have some peace. And it's like, Cynthia, really? Did you really think this marriage is going to last that long? Stop feeding her delusions. Go away. Moving on. So we got Drew meeting up with Cornbread. And Drew was so funny and so fake in this scene that I'm not even mad at, because she acted like she was happy to receive a message from Britt about wanting to hang out and clear the air. But Drew told her that she came in kind of high because of the way she came across. And Britt, again, is playing the victim card by saying that nobody wanted to hear how she felt. Nobody wanted to understand her side, her view of things. That's all we've heard is your view of things. That's all we've heard is how things have made you feel. But it doesn't absolve you from doing other things that were problematic, that were like, why did you do that? So you can miss me. And in her confessional, she said that Drew came in defending Kenya and she didn't like it because she thought that the peace brunch was supposed to be about her, let it be a positive event, because we saw a flashback of Drew telling her that you threatened Kenya with a weapon. So she had to defend herself. I don't understand why she is so mad that somebody is seeing another perspective of how we got here, because she wants so badly to be the victim and to be someone who was targeted, someone who just can't be liked, someone who's misunderstood, and everyone always tries to come for me. It's like, girl, you are driving this to the ground. It's dead at this point. Let it go. You threatened her with a weapon. She retaliated and revealed some embarrassing facts about you that you claimed you got removed. So tit for tat, was it right? No. The way Kenya went about it was right? No. But for you, you're not a victim by no means in this, okay? And then she keeps on going about how she was publicly humiliated. Girl, were you really publicly humiliated? Girl, goodbye. So Drew said, I can get how that might have made you feel, but the way you came across, it gave off like you were celebrating that Kenya isn't here anymore and you're here. Knowing that Drew and Kenya have a friendship, so to see that you feel happy that you got my friend off the show, I'm not even sure if I want to move forward with you, but I cannot judge you and shame you for what you done when you were young. But the way you're coming across now is not really working for me. And I have to agree with Drew, because this wasn't supposed to be about celebrating Kenya not being here. We were supposed to allow you to get your feelings out, to understand how we got here, but you wanted to paint Kenya out to be at fault for everything. Everything going on with your business, everything that's going on in social media. You wanted to put it all on Kenya as if you didn't do anything of that yourself. So it wasn't sending the right message. But Drew wants to get to know Bronchitis, and she wants to know all about her past. So she wants to ask the questions. And even though Bristol says she's an open book, she's willing to answer any questions, well, you wasn't given openness when Angela asked you a simple question. So Drew asked her, did you ever sell it? She said, did I ever sell what? The cat. She said, no, I think you're lying. She asked her, have you ever done porn? That was not a hard question to ask. And we see Britt having a hard time answering this question. She is stuttering and stumbling over her words. She's like, I have not done, oh my God. Okay. I have not done, oh my God. Okay. I have not done porn. Don't believe her. She said, I have done webcam. And how did she get into webcam? She said it was her and another woman who was her friend, and they were just naked, having a fun time, just having conversations on camera. You feel comfortable being naked with another woman on camera. That says something. That means you were selling something. I'm sorry, there are all forms of watching illicit videos on these websites that doesn't have anything to do with actually having sex on camera. Selling it for profit. So you were selling, ma'am. It's not all about intercourse. It's not all about actually having sex with somebody. It's about you performing illicit acts, whether or not it's by yourself or with somebody. It is what it is to me. So I think Drew asked her how long did she do it. She said she did it for about a week, and asked her, did she make any money? She said, I think I did good. And this was something that she did in her 20s. She's not ashamed of it, but she is upset that women are trying to shame her. Well, to me, it sounds like you want to be shamed, but if you weren't ashamed of it, you would just own it. Now, I know a lot of women have done things in their 20s that they are not proud of, but then you got other women who are proud of what they did. If I was you, you should have been like, yeah, I did it. It was something I don't want to do, something I can see I can make money off of it. It would be so understandable if you just said I did it and you would not have to be dealing with people coming at you, or you wanted to be a victim for people coming at you. Like, it would have been none of that. So she asked Drew, you said you knew the person from the picture? She said, I may have, because she said she got a DM from someone who claimed that that was him in the picture, because she thought from the poster it was something that was recognizable, something that was familiar. How would it be familiar to you, Drew, unless you saw a video, you watched porn at some point, or you recognized who that person was? I don't know. But she said it was a joke, and I like to joke. I'm joking. I feel like you were digging in on trying to like judge her and shame her a bit more. But all in all, I think you just wanted to make fun of her in that moment. But to me, if you're asking her if she knew who that was, do you not know who that was? Because you said that you had your boyfriend film you giving him head. So was that another man you filmed? I just have a question, because it sounds like you was okay with having to suck another man's penis on camera. All I'm at, that's how it's making me feel. That's how it's making me think. But I honestly think that Drew was literally playing a character to present like she was giving Britt the space of being understanding, the space of being supportive. Because I don't think she likes Britt. I don't think she does. But again, Britt wants so much sympathy. She wants somebody to recognize how this makes her feel, recognize how she's been going through the ringer, and how this has affected her so much, it's affected her reputation. To be honest though, I don't think that anything really happened to your business over what Kenya put out. And as far as like you thinking that it tarnished your name, to me, it sounds like you've already made your name when you were proud to be a video vixen. You were proud to be posing in slutty magazines, and you were proud to say you dated Rick Ross. So you're putting 20 on 10 to make it all Kenya's fault. It is all Kenya's fault that your life is now spiraled out of control, which I don't think it has. So wanting somebody to sympathize her so much, Drew says, I can sympathize with you on that. My name has been tarnished in the social media. My marriage has been tarnished. I have my character attacked, so I can get how it makes you feel. I sympathize with you. My heart goes out to you. We're not all right at times, so we got to recognize when we are wrong, but I want to move forward. And Britt is just so happy that Drew is on her side, but that's what she wanted. Like, I think Britt just wants to be included. She just wants to be liked, but the way she goes about pretending to be misunderstood, pretending to be somebody that can never form friendships because she doesn't have real intentions on being a real friend, that's what it seems like to me. It seems like she thought that Drew would have been an easy target to manipulate into understanding her. But it's like, I can understand how this can hurt you. That doesn't mean my mind and my opinions have changed with the way you came across, with the way you've handled other situations. But we're going to move on, because we now have Drew and Ralph's court date. Ralph left first, and Drew doesn't like the divorce being dragged out. It's caused them to fight more, and she doesn't want to fight, but Ralph wants to fight. So the three things that she wants for him is to get out of the house, contribute to child support, and have their divorce file sealed. Again, Ralph is just going on about why he needed to leave the house. I paid for that house. Okay, well, can you pay for another one then? There's no point in trying to keep a house you paid for if you can pay for another one. And of course, if we go back to what happened a couple of seasons ago, you paid for that house just to spite it to Drew. Because I think that Drew pretty much is the main money maker in this relationship. So the producers asked Drew, is there anything in the divorce document that you are afraid of? She says that there's more scary details for Ralph than it is for her. But she is fearful for what could be said about Ralph that's put out there. I don't know if she's fearful for what he can do when the information about him is out there, because she's saying that it's only information about him that can be scary. No information about her can't be that scary. Maybe it's Drew compartmentalizing that it's not as bad as it could be, but knowing that Ralph, he would try to paint it out to be bad as it could be. So Ralph was on his third attorney when they went to the courthouse. And it is so parallel to Martell because we know that Ralph and Martell have created a friendship for the last few years. And I feel like Martell has given Ralph the worst advice on how to go through this divorce. I mean, how do you go from having multiple attorneys? It sounds like Ralph is not the easiest person to be in a court with because all Ralph wants to do is just win. All Ralph wants to do is just find people who can just listen to how he wants things to go. Since he doesn't want to be held responsible for what he's done and he doesn't want what's needed of him to pretty much help Drew's case, he would rather fight and make her the problem, make everything harder for her. Because that's what it sounds like to me. And then the attorney that he had, she was just so aggressive and so hyped about how this is a money grab. And that's exactly what we're going to see their play. How is this a money grab? She don't want nothing from him but to get out of the damn house. That's it. So 20 minutes after that, the judge ruled for their court documents to be unsealed and Ralph gets the basement. He did not turn in any financial information. It's like a whole joke because it sounds like Drew could have won this case with the second attorney he had, meaning that he or she was putting Ralph's feet to the fire to turn in those documents. That could have made Drew's case way better, that made her won, and him having to pretty much put money where his mouth is and get out of the damn house. But no, he switched out to another attorney who he only wanted to fight for him to stay in the basement and made it harder for Drew to come up with another game plan. And I felt so bad for Drew. And the way that he was dancing, saying, I don't have to leave. Why do you want to go back to the basement? Do you want to go back to the basement because you want to keep tabs on Drew? You want to know what she's doing? You want to know who she's talking to, who she's seeing? I mean, you have her leave her house every other weekend, which doesn't make any sense. Like, I swear to God, it is so parallel to what Martell did to Mel. It's not even funny. If you don't want her, if you don't want nothing else to do with her, then leave. Y'all both filed for divorce. It's like you want to punish her for even going through the divorce. So for Drew, she's like, just seeing this person change in front of me, I wonder if there was ever love. Was there ever a friendship? So when she was leaving, her and Ralph have an exchange where she rolls down her window by saying, you're a dumbass for that shit in there. And I'm so pissed that I have to see Ralph on my screen in the confessional. Why is he in the confessional? I don't understand. So then he said that as far as wanting the divorce case to be unsealed because he wants everything to be on an even playing field. Because he thinks that the biggest misconception that he wants everyone to understand is I care for my wife. I don't want nobody to ever believe that I never cared for her. But you didn't care for her. Remember, you left for Tampa without letting her know where you were going, but you kept tabs on her. You took her out to dinner and then complained at therapy that she doesn't deserve lobster. She deserves a Lunchable. You gaslit her with the way you was inappropriate with your assistant. Then you got cousin Courtney in the mix, which I don't think was a cousin. I think was one of your lady friends or one of your mistresses. Saying how it's equal playing field. It ain't equal nowhere. Because he says, I know I've done some things throughout the duration of our marriage, but she's done some things too. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to keep on bringing up Love and Marriage Huntsville, but this is how it was for Melody and Martell. Exactly what Ralph is doing right now. He doesn't want to be the only one that has hurt Drew in this relationship. He wants to make it seem as if she's done some things too. And that's like, oh, God. But then how is it that you men who say all you want is to be there for your kids, all you want is to have a co-parent relationship, but y'all do everything to hurt the women you've been in the relationship with. You guys do everything to hurt the woman you've made kids with. How are you presenting to be the bigger person, but yet you want to fight the person you need to be in a good space with? Moving on. So now we get to Portia's birthday trip. She is traveling to Nashville. Everybody gets on the plane. She wants everyone to have a good old time, but we're missing somebody. Angela missed her flight. Traffic was insane, so she had to take another flight. They all head to Nashville, but yet they had to drive further out to make it to their Airbnb. But then I noticed that it was an hour flight from Atlanta to Nashville, but driving would have been maybe under 4 hours. So why couldn't y'all have drove? Why did y'all needed to fly if it was like right there? I wonder. The Airbnb looks very, very nice. So they check out the rooms. Usually when it comes to these cast trips, the problems always start with the rooms. And I'm tired of the problems being the rooms. So, of course, since it is her birthday, she gets the master bed. Shamia takes the second best bed. I honestly felt like, Shamia, you doing a bit too much with using the entitlement that you are her best friend, because she doesn't do it for you. And then there were another suite downstairs in the basement. Oh, and when she was about to open the door to the basement, she yells out, Drew. Unnecessary. So there were three main beds, but then there were a bunk bed room, and then there were these lodging area where there's like four beds on one level. And all the ladies are complaining. It's like, I don't care anymore. I don't care whether or not you have a room with a view. I don't care if you have a personal bathroom. I don't care. As long as I have a place to rest my head, wash my ass, get ready, eat, I don't care. You guys are going to be spending majority of the time out having fun. You just need a place to come home and go to bed to. That's it. So they're all eating, and then Kelly asked Portia, how do you feel about celebrating your birthday this time since you're going through a divorce? Portia went down memory lane about how it is feeling a little bit different. She thought she was going to plan something, but no, because her and Simon's birthdays are like a couple of weeks apart. She's early in June, he's in the middle of June, and they usually travel together to celebrate their birthdays. I was like, blah, blah, blah. You barely celebrate a couple of birthdays for him. Like, I, whatever. Whatever. So then we're discussing how it's fun to have girl trips. It's fun to be around ladies you enjoy. And then you got to be careful about how you choose to bring people on girls trips. Because you got one person who can act differently. And it's like, oh, you tend to change when we're going out of town. What's that about? So then Britt want to chime in and talk about how Angela switched up on her, because she said that Angela checked in on her when it came down to Kenya's event, but then she switched up when she asked her that question at the peach brunch. So now the issue that Britt is creating is saying that Angela switches up when she's one-on-one, but then when you're in front of a group, she acts different. To be honest, though, that's kind of you, Britannica. Because you're feeling some type of way about Angela asking you a simple question about something that sparked her interest to ask you because it didn't make any sense, and now you want to add on she acts differently. I haven't really seen Angela change up her tune when she's around different people. In the beginning, when it came down to you and Kenya, where she did check in on Kenya, but then she also heard how you felt. But I honestly think that her opinion changed about you when it came to her bank dinner. So that's why. Angela finally makes her way into the house, and she said, you know how you can feel somebody was talking about you and you think you don't want to be right, but you were right. They were talking about me. And they were. They were, in fact, talking about her. And you can tell with the way Britt was shocked that Angela came in as soon as she said something, because she knows she was just done talking shit. So she had complications with her bag at the airport. And she talked about how Portia, I would like for Drew to come. I anticipated seeing her and I invited her. Everybody was like, how dare you invite somebody on a trip, especially somebody she's not cool with right now? How do you do that? It is Portia's birthday. You don't invite nobody on somebody's birthday. And listen, a lot of people have mixed feelings about how messy it was of Angela to invite Drew on Portia's trip, but keep it a buck. This is a production setup, because we needed this confrontation. Portia cannot isolate Drew because she doesn't want to talk to her, and she's dragging out this issue that is completely one-sided. So Portia, please, you can miss me with trying to ice her out for no reason. And if the cast is going on a trip, then it's a cast trip, meaning Drew was meant to come. But okay, play it off like it is only her trip. It's her birthday. She can invite who she wants to invite, and the other person who's not invited, they are not supposed to come. All of that is understandable. But for this, she don't have that control. Okay, so Angela thought that she can be the mediator between her and Drew's friendship, because she wants to make sure everybody is good. And again, Portia is not being flat out honest by saying, I don't want her here. Again, you're not being forthcoming about Drew coming, meaning you were okay, but you wanted to pretend as if you were bothered. You wanted to pretend as if you were annoyed. That Angela is constantly asking you if you are okay with Drew coming. But you said you can coexist with her. You're saying that you want to move forward, but yet if the thought of her coming, you get an attitude all over again. So which is it? Either you cool with her, or you not cool with her. And we are aware that Portia is dragging this out because she doesn't have a storyline. If she was to mend things with Drew, she doesn't have a storyline. Means she has to be forced to discuss Simon, but she can't. So Kelly was talking to her stylist about how far he is to make his way to the house. So Kelly and Britt did some shopping when they was at Neiman Marcus at the mall where they met Angela. And Angela was surprised to see them. And I guess she was trying to hide her new work. It's not went down yet. It was still a bit fresh. So Britt made it seem as if Angela was ducking and dodging, avoiding seeing them. Her hair was a mess. But Angela said she spoke to them. She was receptive. She said hi. She appreciated the hug that her and Britt shared. So Britt adding another issue by saying, I mean, that was the first time we've met since the peace brunch. And, we hugged. Yeah, and I was receptive. It was good vibes. Oh, so was it a real hug? If it wasn't real, she would not have hugged you. If she says she was receptive of your hug, meaning she was okay to see you, she was happy to see you, meaning that she has let go of y'all little tiff at the peace brunch and wants to move forward. For you to ask, was it real? Meaning that you weren't real when you saw Angela, or as far as wanting to hug her. So you don't have no real intentions on making it right with Angela or moving forward with Angela. Because I'm seeing it now. You're creating all these issues with Angela over her asking you a simple question. Like, you go too far over the littlest things, and it's annoying. Angela says, I'm not fake. If I show you love and I mean it. I think that Britt always wants to make it seem as if she has a hard time moving forward with someone because she claims that nobody likes her, nobody wants to get to know her. She wants to act like she's misunderstood when she's the one purposefully misunderstanding that a lot of people do not want to fuck with her. It's because of the way you move. You move funny. You move weird. Anyway, everybody has free time to get all glammed up, and everybody's talking to their husbands, checking in about how what's been going on, and da 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 da. Angela looks for her room, and she also fights with Portia over a pillow that had affirmations about all is welcome here. It looked like a fun pillow fight, and it was kind of an agreement that Drew is coming. Okay. So while Kelly and Britt were getting ready upstairs, Brisket want to say that she have locks in case somebody wants to get funny. What did you bring a lock for? Is it a lock for your luggage? You think somebody's going to steal something from you? Or are you willing to have a lock in case somebody wants to get froggy and want to fight you? Why are you resorting to violence? And if anybody doesn't know, a lock is something that people in the hood use to fight. If you put a lock in a sock and wrap it around your hand, you can do some damage to somebody. But why have that energy? For what? Kelly even said, I have sage insecurity. I don't like that shit. For you adding on to it, it's like, what is the purpose of this? Why are you presenting as if you are in danger? Don't like it whatsoever. So Angela also called Drew to tell her that the vibes are good. You are welcome to come. And not even sure when she's coming because she did just have a very horrible day at court. She's not in a good place to be around anybody. So she just wants to take a day and get her mind at ease. So she might come, I think, the next episode, which could be the next morning or afternoon. And then it starts to rain heavily outside. And Kelly is such a sweet person. She's so generous. So Kelly decides to have a stylist pick out outfits for Britt and have her glam squad do Britt's makeup because she wants her to be supported. She wants her to feel pretty and feel special. And I'm just like, Kelly, you are overextending yourself to somebody who doesn't deserve it, who doesn't even appreciate it. You do a lot for this woman. You did the IV treatment, you bought food, you planned the peace brunch, and now you're giving her your stylist and your glam squad? How does that work? I don't like that. I'm sorry. Because I'm just like anticipating when the fallout is going to happen between y'all. Considering the way you showed up for her in every which way throughout the episodes, how you've always defended her, and here you are spoiling her with everything you have. haven't seen her do that for you. And you do it for her every time. Fine, fine, fine. So all the ladies look nice in that cowboy attire. Portia is really making it a bigger deal about Angela convincing her to have Drew come, which you kind of already knew she was coming. And they go out to a nice little bar. They ride a mechanical bull, which looks very fun. Then they all sit down and have dinner. This is when we see all the rest of Portia's friends come. Her sister Lauren, Manietta came, the rest of the ladies. So at the same time they're eating, Drew is now back in Atlanta at Dennis's Hookah Bar Crew Lounge, where she is celebrating that her and Dennis got signed to a record deal. With Connect Music, I believe is the record label. Shout out to her, congratulations. So she wanted to have a moment of celebrating before she goes out to Nashville. And she was celebrating her sister, Allison. And she was on FaceTime with Dennis, who sent the bottle. She's like, thank you, bro. Congratulations to them. So now Portia wants to use this moment to tell her friends that Angela pressured her to allow for Drew to come on this trip. And Angela said, I thought the energy you gave me was cool. Girl, what you mean? I wasn't doing that. I was gracious enough to give her a bed, which was the 2 bunk beds that you pretty much had that available for Drew because you knew she was coming. And Angela said, listen, since you want us to have a good time, I thought it would have been the right time to mend fizzle between you and her. And then everybody chimed in, jumped down Angela's throat by saying, but it's not for that. It's for her birthday. That's not what this is for. You don't just invite somebody on somebody else's trip. That's not right. That's not cool. Because then Portia feels some type of way about everybody asking for Drew, because everybody's taking their focus off her and wondering about Drew. And that's not what the purpose of this trip was. The purpose of this trip is about me. Okay? And then Portia is describing Angela as not being the person that she thought she was. Like, she thought she was calm, demure, understanding, but no. She's demanding. She is aggressive. It's like, really, Portia? Okay. So with Portia saying that Angela bullied her, she said, I bullied you? Girl, that's a bit too much. So Angela needs to be understanding. Like, what is it? I need you to help me understand something. Because she's like, what are you not getting? What is this glue on your motherfucking wig? What are you not getting? So Angela, tell her, listen to me. Talk to me like I'm 5. I'm 5 right now. Tell me so I can understand. Because for Portia to go back and forth with her and give her this energy by saying, you should have shut your motherfucking mouth. That's what you should have did. It's like, who are you talking to? How I'm going to talk to you the way I want to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you like you 55. Bitch, you ain't talking to me no type of way. I said what I said. I'm not changing it. Don't check me about how I'm not understanding. I'm very much aware. I'm very, very intelligent. That's what you're not going to do. It was all just too much of her making it about her and how it's her birthday. We get it, okay? Because Angela said on the Zoom call, you should have just told me that Drew cannot come. But now you want to put your foot down because you got your little posse over here. Girl, don't play with me. I wear a size 12 shoe. I can stand on my own 2 motherfucking feet. Especially when you got your girlfriends chiming in on a situation that they don't really have all the details on. And that wasn't right. So Angela ends up saying, what I won't do is allow for a group of women to talk about one woman who's not here to defend herself. So now Portia takes this moment to make it more of an issue, drag on this problem with Drew to say that they all asked, why isn't she here? Because we have mutual friends. So they're known for us to be cool and now we're not. So what happened? She said that Drew did some underhanded shit that wasn't cool and how we used to work together, but now we're not. Lauren, her sister, took over the conversation by saying it's more than just her doing underhanded things and they're not working together. It's about how she's working with Dennis with music, but apparently there could be something else more than that. That's been the issue. So the next friend who I had to rewind because it sounded so quick, I thought that was Portia who said it. But no, it was the friend next to Lauren that said she sucked some dick. Where did that come from? And why did you think that that's something you should have said? Girl, you don't even go here. Why would you say that? And Portia didn't even step in and defend it. She allowed for it to happen. So everybody is saying, oh, you think she sucked Dennis's dick? Oh, that's not right. You think she did that? I think that's what she did. And Portia didn't make it no better when she went in her confessional and continued on with the narrative that that's what Dennis likes to do. That is Dennis's thing. Whenever there's a girl that she might get told about, or she might be out and about and have heard that that girl messed around with Dennis, and when she would ask Dennis, all Dennis would say, oh, she just gave me head. Oh, she just sucked me off. That's all she did. It was nothing else. So she wanted to say that's how he keeps his body count. Portia, that was disgusting and low of you to insinuate and perpetuate about Drew, because you're making it sound like every woman that Dennis comes across, he wants to fuck. Well, you're one of them, aren't you? And there's no telling. The women that you are cool with might have sucked him off. Hell, Britt went on a date with him. So it's reading to me that is Portia pining for Dennis right now? Does she wants the hot dog king back and is upset that Drew is getting the attention, but it's not the attention you think she's getting? This is about her music. This is about her putting out an album. It's business, but you want more? It's crazy how you still pine over a man who's cheating on you, had all these different ladies tattooed on him. Oh, interesting. You want the hot dog king back? Because you're doing way too much to be mad at her when you think you want Dennis as a rebound, because Dennis is who you can get back. Because you can't get Simon back, so you rather have second best, which is Dennis, because Dennis is about who he says he is. He's a man with business. He's a man with professionalism. He's a man with stature and status. So what is it? I don't understand that, but we're going to get more into that by next week. But that was low down and dirty of you, Portia, because this is also you now making it more of an issue that you and Drew will never be back cool again. And it could be something that you and Dennis might have a problem with moving on in your relationship as co-parents. But man, that was pretty much it. The episode really wasn't much, but I'm going to see you guys later. Please stay tuned for my next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.